Hey, what's happening, guys? Just wanted to talk a little bit about obtaining CCW license in California. Just wanted to kind of walk you through the process because, when I was getting mine, I was doing a little research online and there wasn't too much stuff about it. A few videos here and there, but just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the process and go in depth about, what it took to get it. First of all, it's not as bad as what everybody tells you it is in California, so please don't listen to them. The entire process for me took a little less than 3 months. And a lot of that is just making your appointments and things like that because the backfill is so long right now. So many people wanting to get it. So, getting your appointments for, the class is, 2 months. Making your appointment to, talk to the sheriff is a long time. So, it's not as bad as everybody thinks, so don't listen to them. If they tell you you can't get it in California, it's that's a crock because you can get it. So the first part of the process is you go online, Riverside County Sheriff's Department. You can fill out all the paperwork online. Very, very simple process. They're going to have you download documents directly to the website, and it was very easy. Like I said, it was nothing that, it wasn't anything trick about it. It wasn't anything hard about it. The whole process, that part of the process took me maybe 20 minutes to download the documents and fill out the paperwork online. It's all electronic. You don't have to go in. You don't have to do anything. And you have to submit payment, which I believe at the time was $100 or something like that. Maybe even less. I can't remember what the payment portion of it was, though. After that, then you have to, after you submit your paperwork online, then you're going to take a 8-hour class. I took mine at Right to Bear in Riverside County. Alex and his team, Wes, Marty, all those guys, just such cool guys, made the process really, really easy, made the class fun, yet still learned a lot during the class. And again, that's a requirement. It's an 8-hour requirement, and you have to take an actual shooting test with that. The cool thing about Alex was I purchased a Glock 9mm, Glock 17 9mm, and unfortunately, when I purchased the gun, I wasn't looking at getting my CCW license. I got the gun more for home protection and something that my wife could shoot. Wasn't really looking at carrying it around, and I'm not a big gun person per se, so I didn't realize how big it was when I decided to get my CCW. So I decided to purchase an M&P Shield as my everyday carry weapon, and so I ended up picking up my Shield the same day of my class, but unfortunately it was at the end of my class, so I had to go pick the gun up after the class that day. So it's a requirement that all your weapons have to be listed on your actual CCW, and they have to be, and you have to take a test for all your weapons. So unfortunately, I had to go back on. Alex let me go back on Monday after I had my class on Saturday, picked up my weapon Saturday night, and he let me go ahead and qualify with my M&P Shield on that Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, but he didn't charge me anything, which was very cool. So I qualified, and got it dialed in. So on my paperwork, both guns were on there when I submitted it to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. So after I got my 8-hour class completed, I then had to do my in-person interview. Well, I was kind of fortunate because my in-person interview fell on a holiday, and the system allowed me to register on the holiday, even though they weren't doing classes or they weren't doing in-person interviews on the holiday. So I called them and said, hey, the system allowed me to do my interview on a holiday. Is that correct? And the sheriff that I spoke with, he's like, well, wait, what? So he was a little confused by it also. So he goes in, taps into his system, and he looks, and there was a whole bunch of people scheduled to do their interviews on a holiday. So since I called him and alerted him of that, because they weren't supposed to be allowing that, he told me right there on the spot, he's like, you know what, since you called me and you told me about this error, I'm going to go ahead and do your interview right now. I was super stoked because my interview technically wasn't scheduled for another month later. So that was a whole month basically that I cut off the process because of just calling him in and letting him know of the error. So the guy did my interview right there on the spot. Very, very simple. He looked over all my paperwork, made sure everything was okay, verified some information on my paperwork, asked me a few questions, and it was done. I was off the phone with him in less than 10 minutes, So that part of the process was done. So submit the application, done. I went and took my 8-hour class, done. I got my interview with the sheriff, done. After my interview, he sent me over a form, very simple form. You have to take to a sheriff, an authorized sheriff's dealer. I don't know what that means, but there was a list of sheriffs on the form that he sent me. I had to go in and get my my fingerprinting done, my live scan. So I did that portion. That took about 2 weeks to get an appointment to do that. Again, like I said, the whole process is easy. However, it is time consuming because everything is so backed up. It takes months to get interview with the sheriff. It takes weeks to get into the class. It takes more weeks to get into this, more weeks to get into that. So long story short, the process is easy, but it does take time. So just bear with it. So after I completed my live scan, I went on about a week and a half later to the live scan website to see if everything had been completed. It had been. I hadn't heard anything from the CCW people, so I sent them an email. And sure enough, the day I sent the email, they sent me an email back email and a text stating that I was approved for my license and I just need to go down and pick it up. You don't need an appointment or anything like that. You just go down, take the approval letter with you or the email or whatever, and they have you in the system. They take you in the back, they take your picture, they hand you your license right there on the spot. So very, very simple process. Again, the understatement is the only thing about it, it does take a few months or so to get because everything's backlogged. So just wanted to point that out, and I wanted to talk about the process in California because you hear so much about people saying that, oh, the process is terrible, it's this, it's too hard, it's unobtainable to get in California. It's all bullshit, all of it. You can get your license. I'll be the first one to tell you. So just do it. I have my license. I've had it for a few months now. And I'm super stoked to have it. I carry my gun with me everywhere I go. I have it right here with me right now. And outside of work, it's on my hip wherever I go. So I highly advise, if you guys are feeling like California is going into the dumps because the criminals are being let out on the streets and the cops can't do anything about it, then you have every right to protect yourself. Get your gun, get your CCW, and protect yourself. That's all I have to say, man. If you guys have any questions about it, go ahead and hit me up. Again, it's a very easy process. I can walk you through it step by step. If you're not a criminal, it's easy. That's all I have to say. All right? Peace out, guys.